Hello one and all, Mickey here, Surviving RNG, and this is a first for my channel. I'm going to be asking you guys if you want me to play a particular game. Now the game in question is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. For those that have never seen it or heard of it, it's an RPG but with gameplay that is pretty similar to something like Deus Ex, with goals that can be achieved via a bunch of different methods. And now the reason why I'm asking you guys if you want to see me play it is because I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, the game is janky and I have no problem with that, like Deus Ex or System Shock 2, but in my opinion it's kind of jankier than something like those games. But the game is also buggy, like janky to the point of being buggy, almost to the degree of Fallout New Vegas pre any kind of patches. Now granted, I have got the game patched and installed a bunch of mods that I'll be going through, but those are definitely important things that I want to point out. Next up is the level design. In the hub areas, no problem, absolutely fine, but in the combat sections, the level design has not aged well. The combat sections really drag, which in terms of my videos, I would just edit out repeated enemy encounters that are just identical over and over again. And then there's what the series would actually do for my channel. Now on the one hand, it's an old game, so it's not going to do a great deal, but on the other, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is actually coming out the beginning of next year, so it might be a series that people are interested in watching. But on the flip side, again, the game does have quite a few adult themes. It's got strong language, it's got a few titties on display here and there, and the strong language, not a problem, I can just bleep it out, although granted that's a side effect of me not being able to use subtitles while playing this game, because there isn't a great deal of point in me bleeping out swear words if they're going to just be plastered across the screen anyway. And as for the extra flesh on display, on the few occasions that it does happen, I can just cover most of the screen with my logo, so no big deal. And also to be noted is that the game is very dialogue heavy. And don't be wrong, the voice acting is great, it's amazing, at least for the characters that have like more than 5 lines of dialogue, which makes you look at Bethesda and just think, oh god, what the hell are you thinking? But you could enter a neutral building and, for example, have 5 people to talk to, and they would have literally a couple of hundred lines of dialogue each, which again, as I said, is something to keep in mind. As for the mods, I will be using the Clan Quest mod. This adds a bunch of cut content from the game, primarily a new quest for each of the different factions that there are in the game, with varying degrees of quality given that, you know, they were cut content. But it also includes the unofficial patch, as well as the Arsenal mod, which adds a bunch of new weapons, and the Camarilla Edition mod. And that leads me on to my next point. So like most of the games on my channel, I like to have some sort of difficulty twist to them. With System Shock, it was permadeath, you can't say that word on YouTube. With Deus Ex, it was Bronze Man, so if you died, you had to restart the chapter. With Bloodlines, I don't actually want to have either, certainly not permadeath, because as I mentioned, the game is janky and it is buggy, and the chapters of the game are more like acts. But what I can say is thanks to the Camarilla mod, it edits the blood and feeding system so that unlike in vanilla, your blood now drains continuously as you play, even while talking. That's something to be aware of. If you go into a bar and talk to everybody there, you might come out completely starving. And when your blood gets to 0, you begin to die. It actually begins to eat away your health. So that is all I can say in terms of the difficulty being added. And what's more is the game doesn't have a difficulty slider itself, which is kind of annoying. So that aspect of the game will be base difficulty. But if enough of you guys want to see me play it, I'm absolutely more than willing, with one final question being, and those of you that have either seen it or played it will know what I'm going to ask, what clan shall I play as? There are several in the game that you can choose from, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, but there are only 2 of interest to me. The Nosferatu, the vampire clan that when they get turned, they become horrifically deformed, and as such it makes wandering around out in the open kind of dangerous, because police officers might just open fire immediately, and if you bug civilians enough, they're going to get freaked out and scream, and that'll break the namesake title, The Masquerade. You break that enough times, and you get executed. Now the other choice, if you guys have played it, you know I'm going to say this, has got to be Malkavian. Now Malkavian don't add the same kind of difficulty the same way as the Nosferatu do, but the thing about Malkavian is they're bat crazy. So all of their dialogue options are, let's just say, very abstract, or in third person, you know, that kind of thing. And this game has done an amazing job at having unique dialogue for each of the clans. In particular, the Nosferatu, because you look so horrific, almost everybody that talks to you is going to comment about it, and the Malkavians, because you talk like a lunatic, again, if you talk to somebody, almost everybody's going to mention, what the hell are you saying? So guys, I'm going to leave it down to you. Should I play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? And if so, which of the 2 clans, Nosferatu or the Malkavians, should I choose? Let me know in the comments below. And as for Thief 2, don't worry, it will be coming with the newly released HD mod. I think it was released like 6 months ago, or had a major update to it or something. And as for Deus Ex 2, I'm not sure about that one. If enough of you guys ask for it, then I will get to that one as well. So until next time guys, I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching guys, and bye-bye from bye-bye.